Hey, Billy.
I can't in the middle of this. This is controlled by the state.
Mark, how are you? Thanks for coming.
Rick Jones.
How are you?
The guy that's gonna, well, credit for your saying. We're playing. Yeah. I think they done the Husband Valley at the beginning. That's been
So Angela, that they're the ones on each side, in the wall.
Mark, hey, let's go over here. How's it going?
Hey, Rick.
Hi, I'm with the governor's press office. Maura Driscoll, nice to meet you.
Hi, Maura. We've met before.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Good, thanks. How are you? Are you going to need her for anything or just doing the general?
Just doing the general, I think. Do you want to do any interviews?
No, I'm just here just
Hi,
trying to do a
Maura Driscoll, nice to meet you.
story about whatever is being announced.
Okay, all right, great.
Thank
All right,
you.
well, let me know if that
Yeah,
changes.
thank you for checking in.
Yeah, of course.
Right, we ready?
Good afternoon, everyone. We're ready to get started. Good afternoon. If we could get people to try to come up towards this end of the hall would be great. So we don't have to yell. Here we go. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for being here with us today. This is an exciting afternoon for us, both because of the guests that we have here with us, but also the news surrounding the redevelopment of 226 Main Street. We do have a lot of elected officials here with us today, and I want to take just one quick moment to recognize them. From our state legislative delegation, Jerry Cassidy is here with us, Senator Mike Brady, Representative Claire Cronin. We have several city councilors with us. Ann Beauregard from Ward 5 is here somewhere. Council at Large Moises Rodriguez, Council President, I should say. Council at Large, Jean Bradley Durenencourt. And Ward 7 City Councilor Shirley Asack. So we're very excited to have everyone here. And we do, just to the right of Lieutenant Governor, we do have the, so everyone knows which building we're talking about, we brought an illustration of what's been standing there vacant for a very long time. And at one time was a great building, an important part of the downtown, but has stood at a crossroads of the downtown as vacant and abandoned for a long, long time. And the fact that this property is now going to be redeveloped by the Commonwealth is a key piece of the revitalization of the entire downtown. We are very excited and honored to have Lieutenant Governor here with us today. She's a frequent visitor to the city of Brockton, and we appreciate that. She was kind enough to come down today and help share with everybody the announcement from the state. So I introduce for you, please, the Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Karen Page.
Day today, and I'm very honored and happy to be here in the City of Champions, the City of Brockton, to join with your mayor, our mayor, Bill Carpenter, and his team. Many of you are individuals who come to City Hall and perform the services to the people who live here, the people who call Brockton home. I want to thank the mayor for his leadership, always working so hard and moving so many things forward in this city, whether it's quality education, making it a safe and healthy community, and in this case, trying to redevelop the downtown, bring more jobs and opportunities to this part of the city. Great mayor, great leadership. It's always great to be in your company. I want to introduce a couple of people that are part of our team. We have Secretary Acosta here from Labor and Workforce Development. And we have Commissioner Carol Gladstone, who was part of the Department of Capital Asset Management, and they are like the property arm of state government. You'll hear from both. So happy to be with my colleagues in government, that there are no conflicts today and that you could be here, that the delegation, you have an excellent delegation, always advocating for the best interests of this city and this region. They're so passionate and so committed, and are not shy about calling their lieutenant governor when there's a need, and I'm always happy to get their calls. I see a lot of the business community here. Terrific. You are the people who have believed in this city from the very beginning. You started here, you're still here, and you continue to believe, and that's really important when you're trying to attract other interested parties, other developers, or other private sector commitments to this city. So I just want to thank the business community for being so active and so engaged in helping Brockton move forward. I want to thank the Massasoit Community College. You'll be hearing from them, and I'm going to talk about how that's a piece of this success story here. I had the opportunity to visit with Bill Mitchell and his team over at Massasoit about a year ago. Today we're talking about investing in places, but what Massasoit does is invest in people, making sure that people of this community have access to the state-of-the-art labs and equipment that you have at Massasoit, and have access to certificate programs and degree programs that can help them build a better life. And I just want to thank Bill for his leadership. He's been a really great partner to the mayor and to our team at the state level. So thank you very much. Usually when I show up, it's good news, and I want to just be here because you have milestone moments that you're achieving, and I think that's really important, especially when you're talking about the flywheel effect. When you have things that are happening and you have this momentum, you need to continue to highlight them, and when you do so, it sparks the next big thing, and then the next big thing, and the next after that, and I think that's a really important part of your success story. Now, when I came into office with Governor Baker a little over 4 years ago, one of the first visits that I had was to see Mayor Carpenter. And I will remember that visit always, because we stood right in front of this building at 226 Main Street, and you highlighted this as a very important priority for your administration, and had ideas about how it could be repurposed. And one of the things you said to me then was that in order for the downtown to be reimagined and redeveloped, we need to make sure that we're investing in housing so that people will have places to live right near the transit station, so that if there are more people living downtown, they'll need more services and restaurants and things to do. But you also said we need more people to be working downtown. And here you have a building that's a gateway to the downtown area of Brockton that needs to be populated with some useful things and people that can work there and be part of the downtown experience. So 226 Main Street, the state made a big commitment that we were going to take this building down because it's unsafe. You've been looking at red marks on this building for a very long time, and that it will be repurposed. And that's where the redevelopment and the reimagining of this space is going to take place. We announced about a $28 million commitment to demolish this building, and my first announcement is that this building will begin to come down this summer. So that's good news. And then it will be, and when it comes down, immediately you begin the reconstruction of it. And the total demolition and building cost is somewhere around $28 million. And so now when you rebuild this building, it's really important that you have uses in the building that will be productive, not only for the people who do business in the building, but for this particular location downtown. I'm very pleased to announce that there will be 2 tenants in this building. One of them is our Department of Unemployment Assistance, that's DUA. They have a presence in this community at 36 Main Street. They're going to leave that building and come into this building because they need new space. There's about 80 employees, and they will be one of the anchor tenants in the Ganley building as soon as it is reconstructed. That leaves the opportunity of taking 36 Main Street and selling that, make it available for redevelopment, have a private sector use for 36 Main Street. And that's music to the mayor's ears, because that will be a tax-producing property that can be used for whatever it is that you would like. Maybe it's a mixed use, maybe it's commercial and housing. And it's right across from the new parking station that you also advocated for and received a MassWorks grant for, that will tie up that end of Main Street too. So that's a great news story. The other tenant is something that I know was very important to the mayor, because he talked about this as well. And that is for Massasoit Community College to open an office in this building. I know Bill is going to talk a little bit more about what they figure the outfit will be and what the use will be. But when you think about the Department of Unemployment Assistance, where you're trying to match people to jobs, to employers in the area, and you have Massasoit that's right there, that could be available for training and access to certificate programs, I think that's a really great use. It will be beneficial for sure to people of this region and to this community. And it will bring employees to this building that will be working there throughout the work week. So I truly believe this is a great success story. Shows a lot of collaboration, creative thinking, and getting stuff done, which is something that we all care deeply about. So now I have the great special honor to ask the mayor to come forward as we unveil what the rendering of the facade of the Ganley building. And I know the architect, Jones Architect, will also be talking about this a little bit more. So drum roll, ready? Ready to go? Congratulations in advance to all of you. I'm very happy to be here to make these announcements and to mark your progress. Congratulations.
Well, we've got several folks to talk about the project and fill in the details for you now, but we think the design is spectacular. We think it still captures the historic feel and doesn't really disrupt this end of the downtown, but at the same token gives us a brand new state-of-the-art office building that's much brighter and well lit, and is going to be a really vibrant space in the downtown, not just because of nearly 100 employees there, but because that Massasoit Community College will have an educational presence on the ground floor of this building. And that's a milestone for us, and it's a first step for us getting to where we need to get to. This project would not happen without the close work and support of DCAM, and Commissioner Gladstone and I have had a chance to know each other for a little while. I think when the commissioner became commissioner, I was one of the first people to come in and see her, hat in hand. But she's been a great partner to work with for us, and I'd like to give her the opportunity to come up and tell you a little bit more about the project. Commissioner Carol Gladstone.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Everyone, it's so exciting to be here to share the images of the new building, which will be an important part of the downtown streetscape. I have to say, this is one of those times when it all just works out. Keeping the Department of Unemployment Assistance in Brockton was an objective of the administration, and their existing building was not well suited to be a 21st century call center. When we looked at the options for 226 Main Street, we realized that the site provided really the right dimensions for a replacement building. That doesn't happen a lot. Sometimes the older buildings are too narrow, but in this case, I call this a double wide site, and it really laid out perfectly for an office building. And then we started figuring out what else could happen in that building, and it's really exciting to me personally that we're able to work it out so that Massasoit will be in the ground floor. So Rick Jones of Jones Architecture is here today. He's going to speak in a minute, but I wanted to commend him and his team and our own DCAM team for their work to create a building that will meet many goals. Provide the great workspace for DUA, offer space for and visibility on the ground floor for the community partner, this is Massasoit, be energy efficient, incorporate laminated wood technology. This is the first time we've done this, and that's going to be one of the features of this building. Sit comfortably on the key spot in Main Street, and stay on budget and stay on schedule. So we asked a lot of them. It's a relatively small building in that way, but 30,000 square feet. But Rick, you guys have delivered for us in DUA and the city, and we thank you for that. Just beginning. So we are now in the process of selecting a construction manager, the builder for the building, with an eye towards mobilization and demolition this summer, and full construction start in the fall. So this is going to just keep on going. We're very excited about that. Finally, I'd just like to give a shout out to some of the members of the team who've gotten us here. Rick Jones, you're going to hear from, and Mark Paris. Mark, you're here, right? Back there, on the project team. Other people, Sarah Tarabet, Greg Bouchard, and Jake Springer. Those are the guys who actually go through the work and create these wonderful images for us. And I want to also thank Rick Jeffers from DUA, who's been a fantastic client, who's here. And finally, Rob May, who has been a wonderful, wonderful partner for us to work with. This is going to be a transformational project, I think, and we can only do it in partnership with the city and with all of you. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner. So I think it's really important to know, because this has been a lot of folks collaborating together over a period of time to make this happen. And to get a project like this from the state, it requires the commitment of the administration, but it also requires our legislative delegation. They're a key component in making this happen for us today. And quite honestly, even before I became mayor 5.5 years ago, Claire was already working on getting this property redeveloped. Mike was, and Jerry, as working with Senator Kennedy at the time, had been working on this also. So this was certainly a goal that existed before I got here. And as a matter of fact, I recall, Claire, you and I met within days after my election, and the number one, I think, topic we spoke about was 226 Main Street and how critical of a project that would be for the downtown. I mean, this is the great view. This is the end of Belmont Street. This is the main gateway into the downtown. And for God knows how long, every visitor coming in from the west to the downtown has stopped at a stoplight and looked at a vacant, abandoned building. And can you imagine the difference in a couple of years when those same folks stop at a stoplight and see a beautiful, brand new, state-of-the-art office building, and what that will mean to changing their perception of what's happening downtown. So recognizing that the contributions of the delegation, I want to be sure to invite State Rep Jerry Cassidy to come up and make a few remarks on behalf of the delegation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I just want to, Senator Brady, thank you very much for everything you do, and Michelle DeBoer, thank you very much. But of course, my good friend Claire Cronin, she's chair of Judiciary, and she got another award today, so Claire. And as I was driving down Belmont Street, the mayor was just talking about the facade here. I was lucky enough to get an earmark in for the old post office, which is the school department, to have the cupola all done. So that's $100,000. When you're looking at the scene of downtown Brockton, you'll see a nice gold dome on that. But I do want to read something that was read speech in 2014. Today is truly a red letter day for the city of Brockton. It is evident from this distinguished speakers before me that we are on a clear path to creating new educational opportunities for the residents of Brockton and beyond. The golden perspectives that we will make possible because of this collaborative will serve as a catalyst for great success for the people of the Metro South community. The future students fortunate enough to pass through the doors of this new temple of learning in the quest for knowledge and personal self-improvement will be one step closer to attaining their dreams. My heartfelt congratulations, tip of the hat, and great appreciation to all those involved in moving this momentous project forward. Blessings to all. That was read by Tom Kennedy, who was very instrumental in starting this whole process. And I just want to recognize thank you, Lieutenant Governor, for everything. Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Great job, Jerry. Thank you. The Lieutenant Governor did allude to it somewhat, but I think that part of the final genesis of this project was a couple of years ago when the state was considering what to do with the DUA offices downtown at 36 Main Street. And there was a lot of sentiment, I think, to move those offices out to a regional center somewhere and take those jobs out of downtown Brockton. And I recall calling the Lieutenant Governor and asking her to reconsider because of the impact that would have at a time that we're trying to bring the downtown back to pull nearly 100 employees out of the downtown. Because certainly the development of market rate housing is at the core of what's happening downtown, and we're excited about that. But the downtown is also about bringing in more employees during the day. And we know that with the construction of the parking garage, we believe that WB Mason and the Neighborhood Health Center and other employers like that are going to be able to bring more employees downtown. It was a key for us, for DUA and the Lieutenant Governor to make the commitment to find a way to keep those people here. And that's really was the driving force behind being able to get this done. So I would like to invite up the Secretary of Labor and Workforce Development, who oversees DUA, Rosalind Acosta.
Good afternoon. I'm going to be somewhat brief because there's so many people that need to speak, important folks. But this, to me, is the epitome of how government should work. This is today shows the collaboration of local, state, our wonderful delegation, of business, the business community, our entire community coming together and saying, something different has to happen here. And we have a building that doesn't look so great. We have a building that needs to be redeveloped. And the visioner of the Lieutenant Governor to say, we are going to stick with you. We are going to do something about this. This is what government is supposed to do. And this is, coming from the private sector for many, many years and now in the public sector, I really only imagined that government could be so good, but I love to see these projects. I really do, because this gives me lots of faith that we can do this in many, many communities throughout Massachusetts. And frankly, the partnership with the community college and with Massasoit, we've been doing this over and over again, because we know in the workforce world, in the world I live in, that if we don't partner with education, then we can't be successful. We absolutely need to partner with education. So having Massasoit right there with us, and we do call it the Department of Unemployment Assistance, but frankly, we really are talking more about reemployment these days. We really want to focus on not so much that you're unemployed or someone is coming through the door because they're unemployed, but focus a lot more on their future. And what are the things that we really want people spending very little time on an application. We understand that it's important that we get them that check as soon as possible because they have bills they have to pay. But that's not the focus. And for some folks that we see, they haven't looked for a job in over 20 years. And automation or whatever the reason, they've been displaced and they don't have a job anymore. Guess what? We have to come in and we have to train them. And we have to figure out what are the priority industries in the region and then help them get into those priority industries so they can have a very, very good middle wage job, so they can work one job, so they can come home for dinner and they don't have to worry about working multiple jobs. And that's what we're about. So we're really, really pleased to have Massasoit as our partner in this. We couldn't be happier, Mayor, being here in Brockton. You have been such a wonderful partner with us here all along. We don't want to leave Brockton. We're here to stay. And we also have right across the street our Mass Hire Career Center. So for anyone that is looking for a job or an employer that's looking for employees, please visit us at Mass Hire. We'd be happy to help you. And we want to make sure that Brockton continues to be successful. So thank you.
Well, just a couple more folks to speak, but very important. First of all, you know, what's exciting in today's announcement is the chance to actually see the design now and know what this new building is going to look like as it begins construction later this summer. We're very fortunate to have the person who designed the building, architect Richard Jones of Jones Architecture, here with us. So Rick, we'd love to have you come up and say a few words about the building.
Thank you, Mayor. I too will be brief. It's interesting to hear you say that I designed the building. I think that you heard the laundry list that Commissioner Gladstone ticked off of all the things that they wanted to achieve with this project. And when I often meet people for the first time and I tell them I'm an architect, they say, "Oh, you draw buildings." And I politely nod and say, "Yes, I draw buildings." But, you know, what I really do is bring together all the things that Commissioner Gladstone was talking about, all the goals for the project, work with people like Rick Jeffers that you mentioned, who's the person we work with closely at DUA, work with people like Bill Mitchell from Massasoit, where we're also doing a number of projects right now, to bring everybody together and find consensus through that design process. So really it's about managing that effort and bringing everyone together and through design and to create that community and that shared outcome. We get to draw along the way a little bit every once in a while. So I do want to thank a few people, everybody on our design team. Mark, you mentioned, Commissioner, but also all of our consultants. The partners at DUA have been great, both Rick Jeffers and Wendy Savory. They've been just fantastic to work with, so responsive. And then, of course, the people with DCAM. So Gail Rosenberg and Barry Heidke, we look forward to working with them to bring this project through to the end. And really excited today to learn that Massasoit, Bill's going to talk in a minute, is going to be a partner with this process going forward. We've had a great run of projects with them on campus, both Canton and Brockton, and they've been great to work with. So just want to talk about a couple of things. Commissioner Gladstone mentioned a number of items. One thing we're really excited about is the opportunity to use cross-laminated timber, which is a new construction technology that is bringing wood construction back into currency. And local manufacturers in Maine and Massachusetts are redeveloping old paper plants and things like that to be used to produce cross-laminated timber. So that's a really exciting opportunity and creates jobs close to home. So that's something we're really excited about. The other thing that I think has been an undercurrent in terms of sustainability and resiliency over time is throughout this whole process we've talked about flexibility in the design of the building. But at the interior, it's wide open floor plates and good floor-to-floor heights, and over time this building will be a 75-year, 100-year building that can be reused in different ways. And that's just, we try to be really thoughtful about that from the get-go. So, thank you.
Thank you, Rick. So I think that the really exciting news today, in addition to all the great things about the building, is the fact that Massasoit will be taking space on the ground floor and bringing some classroom space downtown, bringing educational presence downtown, and what we believe will be a first step towards an ever-expanding educational presence downtown. So we'd like to invite up the Vice President of Massasoit Community College, Bill Mitchell.
Literally from back there, thought this said Massasoit Community College. Sorry, Mr. Mayor. This isn't gonna work. So, on behalf of President Glickman, the new president of Massasoit Community College, I bring greetings. This is truly an exciting day. For those of you who've been around a while, we've had a little bit of a start and stop. But through President Glickman's leadership and her vision, when we talked about having a presence downtown, she jumped at the opportunity. She came from an institution, a community college, that was embedded in the city in which they were. And so she has jumped in with both feet and really allowed the college to partner with the mayor, with the city, and all our friends in government, and certainly the local delegation, to do something wonderful for this city. Not only wonderful, but necessary. And so Massasoit, although all the details aren't worked out as far as the academic program goes, we do know that we will bring perhaps ESL downtown, which is needed. We have waiting lists across the city. We have waiting lists at Massasoit for folks to come in. We may create an enrollment center where folks can come downtown and learn about Massasoit and learn about community colleges. We want to perhaps engage university partners to bring other higher ed institutions with us to offer different academic programs. We certainly want to listen to the folks downtown, both the businesses that are here now and then businesses that will come as a result of this, and get their idea and their input on what Massasoit can bring and will bring to the city of Brockton. So on behalf of President Glickman and her leadership, we're really looking forward to this opportunity. It's been a long time coming. We are truly excited for this opportunity, and we look forward to being right about here, right in the front, right in the storefront. Is that correct, Mr. Mayor?
You can go wherever you want.
All right. You heard it here, and it's on tape. We can go wherever we want. And I do have to say, I'm going to petition President Glickman if I can move my office down here, because the coffee that I had at the coffee shop right around the corner was one of the best cups of coffee that I think I've ever had. So kudos to whoever that is. And I can't accept a free cup of coffee for that because I'm a state employee. But anyway, thank you all. Thank you very much for your support. The Baker-Polito administration has been so supportive of Massasoit and community colleges in general. Grant after grant to help us purchase the equipment and do the necessary things to get students from us into the workforce. And so we're very grateful for that as well. DCAN's been a wonderful partner in a number of different projects. And certainly the mayor has been a great partner, and we look forward to continuing those relationships. And as always, the local delegation, thank you very much. So we're very excited for it, and it's getting very hot, so I'm going to stop talking.
Well, that's going to just about wrap up the formal part of our presentation. We do want to invite the delegation and some of our other special guests to come up for some photo opportunities with the design of the new building. If you're not yet believing in the revitalization of downtown Brockton, come back next month for the next groundbreaking, the next announcement, because they're going to keep